You are tuning into the Goldilocks Productions presentation of the Angels and Healing Light Show. Sit back, relax, and be open to receive the angelic messages and healing channeled through your host, Laura Romeiro.
Hi, good morning, everybody, and welcome back. So lovely to have you here again. And thanks for joining me and the angels and everything that's going to go on today. It's going to be a wonderful show, and I'm so glad that you're going to be part of it today. And thanks to everybody that subscribed to my website. I hope you got my angel message of the week, which is all about creative expression and helping your soul create and express itself as one of the beautiful gifts from God that we have, but it's also a way to help you raise your vibration and connect to higher energies and help you fulfill your life purpose and to relax, to receive guidance and images and so much more. So I hope you got that. If you didn't, please reach out to me, Laura at angelsandhealinglight.com. You can email me anytime. You can go to my website, which is angelsandhealinglight.com. As you know, I am an angel intuitive, a spiritual healer, Reiki master teacher, animal communicator, and my passion is talking to the angels, getting messages, and reminding others that they love to do that they can do the same. I have a wonderful guest today. I am so pleased to have Ms. Linda Herrick. Linda Herrick is with us this morning, and she's a lady that I've known for some time, back when I lived in Illinois. Linda is a mentor and a teacher to me. She is a very special person. She's a wonderful, an incredible healer. We'll have to talk about the time she actually blew me out of a room while doing some healing work. That was interesting. She is a hypnotist. She is a Reiki master teacher. And she's going to tell you about the spirit cruise that she's going to be going on. We're going to make sure and talk about that. So she really has a passion for helping people awaken to their true self with their own healing abilities, gifts, and talents. She's a metaphysical teacher, a certified instructor for hypnosis through the IHF, which is International Hypnosis Federation. She's a CEU provider for massage therapists, a public speaker. She does lots of workshops and retreats, and she does have a very unique ability to hold a group's attention. Not only does she connect with you as an individual and make you feel comfortable, she helps bring out so much in you. And she's just a fun person to be around, as you'll discover. She's also an instructor for continuing education at the Joliet Junior College. She teaches classes there to help people gain a deeper understanding of our energetic systems and how they work. She's, like I said, a Reiki master. She teaches classes in both Usui Reiki and, I always boggle this, Sa Sekem Sahu Reiki.
You did great.
Did I do okay?
You did great.
She's recently been certified in hypnosis. Well, not recently, but you have been certified for a while in hypnosis, age regression, yes, past life regression, and trained by the Michael Newton Institute on Life Between Lives. So welcome, Linda. It's so wonderful to talk to you today and every day.
Laura, I feel so blessed to be with you. Thank you for that lovely introduction. So I'm very, very excited, and of course, it's always wonderful whenever I can connect with you. So I'm very honored. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Linda. Oh, and everybody, wave. My mom's listening. Good morning, Mom. Everybody say good morning, Renee. Wave to my mom. So I always say hi to my mom. So, Linda, it's you are so knowledgeable. You're so experienced. You really are amazing. And since I've known you, teaching through vision boarding, through Reiki, through healing, and how to breathe. It's little things that make a big difference in life. And now hypnosis. So tell me how you got started and, were drawn to hypnosis and what you do and how it helps people, because I know that it has so many wonderful benefits to it. And I don't think people understand all of the beauties behind it.
Well, it's kind of a funny story as to how I got involved with hypnosis. I always look for ridiculous in things because I believe God's always in ridiculous, because oftentimes that's what catches your attention. It was probably about 12 years ago. I had a woman approach me because she and her daughter were opening up a healing center in the area, and they approached me and says, "Oh, we really love for you to be part of it." And of course, I knew, they knew I was a Reiki master and teacher, and they said, "We'd like you to be our hypnotist. We'd like to offer hypnosis." And I says, "Well, I don't do hypnosis. I'm a Reiki master." And they're like, "Yes, but we want to offer hypnosis, and we want you to be our hypnotist. The job is yours." And I says, "Well, okay, I guess maybe I should go study hypnosis." So that's how I actually came into hypnosis, is I got a job. So, but as I delved into it, I absolutely fell in love with hypnosis. And of course, this is how our brain works. This is how our mind works. And it's a basis of so much of everything that we do. And so I fell in love with it, as I actually have fallen in love with a number of things that I do. But hypnosis is great because it really helps override the blockages in our subconscious mind so we can achieve what it is that we desire. So that's how I got into it.
I regularly talk about how God and angels will put people and messages in front of us that help us get to our next step or our next destination. And I always tell people, they come in different ways, and sometimes it comes in the form of a person telling you something. And that's a beautiful example of people just coming up and offering you a position for something that you didn't know anything about. And even better is that you took that leap of faith and said, well, okay, I guess I'm meant to do this. And you followed up on that. You had that trust and that faith, and you took that step, and now look what you do. So what do people normally approach you for help in hypnosis? What would you say is the typical, and how
I would say the number one issue that people have is stress management and all that comes with stress in our lives. And stress is very, very common. After that would be fears. When people feel very fearful, they experience anxiety. Also, pain management. Hypnosis does wonders with pain management. And then, of course, some of the other things would be quit smoking and that type of thing. Thank goodness, a lot of people no longer smoke. They don't smoke, or they no longer smoke. It doesn't seem like kids are smoking anymore. So that'll be great as soon as we don't have that issue with folks. And but oftentimes people have tried many different other ways of quitting smoking, and hypnosis actually is highly effective. And as I tell my clients who come to me for quit smoking, your problem isn't quitting smoking, because if you smoke a pack a day, you quit 20 times a day. Your problem is starting smoking.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And that can be very daunting, to stop smoking.
Right.
To even just think about that.
Exactly. But most of the time it has to do with people feel that they sabotage themselves. There could be prosperity blockages or weight blockages. I want to get healthier, and next thing I know, I'm diving into a bag of Oreos and that type of thing. So it's a saboteur within us that really needs to be addressed.
Linda, can anyone be hypnotized?
People can only yes and no.
Okay.
People can only allow themselves to be hypnotized. if you do not want to be hypnotized, you cannot be hypnotized. It is about the same level of making a 3-year-old eat peas when they don't want to eat peas. It's not going to happen. So if people allow themselves to be hypnotized, absolutely. And some people are more easily hypnotized than others. So it runs the gamut. But no one can hypnotize you against your will. No one can come up and just go, okay, you're under hypnosis kind of thing. By the same token, no one can make you do anything under hypnosis that you wouldn't normally do.
So, for instance, if you got pulled over for speeding, you couldn't. So, officer, look deeply into my eyes.
Officer, take a nice deep breath and just relax with me, won't you? No.
Repeat after me. You were going 5 miles below the speed limit. Yes, ma'am. We just pulled you over to tell you you're great. Darn it.
These are not the droids you were looking for. Although, if you notice, a lot of people do drive in a hypnotic state. And that's something, a lot of people go, well, I couldn't be hypnotized. We go in and out of hypnosis. It's a totally natural phenomenon that our brain does, and we go in and out of hypnosis a number of times each day. And driving is a wonderful example. Everyone's had the experience where they've gone from point A to point B. They get to point B and they think, wait, I don't remember the last 3 miles. And it's because
I've had that experience.
Exactly.
And it's kind of
you were
scary.
Hypnotized. Yeah.
I wonder, oh my gosh.
Concentration. Yeah. And yet you got to your destination safely. Yes. It's just that you're really in focused concentration. Another form of that is daydreaming, prayer, meditation, getting lost in a really good book or movie. You getting onto the internet to just check. I'm just going to take 5 minutes to check my email. And then the next thing you know, it's been 45 minutes. And you're like, wow, where did that time go? Because there's always time issues with that as well. So, yeah, so we go into hypnosis a number of times each day.
My producer, Tiffany, is asking, so people that cluck like a chicken when they're hypnotized want to do that? And she's laughing.
That is an excellent question. So a lot of times I do therapeutic hypnosis, but a lot of people think of hypnosis and they think of those stage shows that they've seen. And without giving away secrets and stuff of how they do it, it's pretty easy. What they do is really separate the folks. First of all, if you're going to be raising your hand for, oh, let me volunteer for this, you're probably going to be the person that doesn't mind clucking like a chicken in front of people. So, Laura, let me ask you, would you raise your hand to volunteer?
I did. I would, and I have. I have been on the stage in one of those shows, and it was one of the funniest experiences in my life.
Yes.
And the things that he had us doing, and you knew that what he was doing was ridiculous, but it was so funny, I just couldn't stop doing it.
And so much fun. Yes, and so much fun.
Yes.
So you and I'd raise my hand right next to you. So you and I would be on the stage, probably really entertaining your producer that would
racing each other to the stage. Get out of my way.
Exactly. And she'd be there going, there's no way I could do that. Well, there's certain personality types that, fine, I'll go up there and play. It'll be fun. And others that would be, oh, I could never do that. They'll be in the audience. Mm-hmm. So that's really the big difference. So they would not have you do anything that you wouldn't normally do. Well, maybe not on a daily basis. You may not go to the grocery store, but, clucking. But
one never knows.
You never know.
I did get to participate in a past life regression hypnosis, which of course was vastly different from the stage experience. And I found it to be fascinating. I went and revisited, a very 14th century, absolutely fascinating. Saw myself then. It felt perfectly normal. It was like watching a television show. It was very restful. I was very curious about everything, but it was not. I was a little apprehensive, and I think everyone there was initially apprehensive about what they would experience and see. But it was really a wonderful experience, and made some things make sense to me. Finding that little interesting tidbit about myself at another time as to who I am today. And it was very fascinating. Not at all scary. I felt very restful and peaceful. And I would do it again at any time.
Awesome. Well, yes, and for the people that I have, there seems to be some common denominators. For everyone that I've experienced doing past life regression, they come out of it with two things. First of all, there's an aha. Oh, so that's why I'm afraid of frisbees or sharks, and they live in, Chicagoland area where we have no sharks. And, I'm no longer afraid of death. There's a peace that comes with it. There's usually an aha, and there's a peace. And go, oh, everything will be okay. Yeah. And some people have, really wonderful past lives, and some perhaps some trauma in their past lives. And a lot are rather mundane. And I had one client who was in Australia, a rancher's wife, and she had like 6 or 7 children. And they were rather well-to-do, and she was so excited because she was getting a brand new Frigidaire refrigerator, and she couldn't wait, and she was all excited about this refrigerator. It was installed. She gathered the children around. She opened it up to show them what's in it, like this is what it looks like, but made sure none of them were ever supposed to open the door themselves. Only she could do that. She invited all her lady friends over so she could brag to them this amazing refrigerator, and she was just so excited. And that was really one of the highlights of that lifetime. And when she came out of hypnosis, she says, I've never told anyone this, but I really love kitchen appliances. And she, it was a thing. And she went back and researched it and found that model refrigerator had come out that year, and it was like in the 40s or something, and she goes, oh my gosh, I would have never thought about that. So there's times when you can go back and actually see correlations, and sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But it's really the feeling, as you mentioned, that you're left with. That's the important thing.
So do you find, how can this help people? So say someone has a fear of flying, and also I'd like to know how it helps with pain control, especially for people that are going through something chronic, ongoing, that really disrupts their life and changes their life so that they don't have the highest quality life they could. So that's one of the things I'd love to know is how can this help them so that they're able to have a better life and heal them. But also, if you have any particular issue that is interrupting the flow of your life so that it's not as happy or healthy or productive as it possibly could be, how can they go about helping resolve these issues?
Well, what the mind believes, the body can achieve, kind of thing. And with pain management, for instance, which is, when you experience chronic pain, it really does take over your life, and it really zaps the joy out of your life. And for people, and it's very difficult to explain to others what that chronic pain is like. I've experienced chronic pain in my past. And the way that I explain chronic pain to others, it would be as if you sat down to eat lunch and I came up next to you and just started screaming in your ear, just, and I kept screaming. And then you got up to wash your dishes. I'm still screaming. You lay down to take a nap, I'm still screaming. You can't do anything, and you never get away from me screaming in your ear. How soon, would it take for you to snap at that and go, enough already? Well, chronic pain is like that, except it hurts. It's not just annoying. There's pain all the time, and no matter what you do, you can't get away from it. There's no break. And so you can imagine how this would really influence the quality of life and how you can experience life when you're experiencing that kind of pain. And there's a number of techniques that we use in hypnosis to help alleviate that, to put some control in your hands so perhaps that pain can literally be dialed down. And making sure, of course, that that pain, what triggers the pain, which is just a message to go, hey, something's wrong here. For instance, if you rolled your ankle, you're going to have pain in it, which is a good thing, so you don't run around and hop on that foot. Okay, but if it's pain from other sources, that okay, I got the message. I don't need you to be screaming at me all the time. That we can certainly dial it down. Okay.
I think that's fascinating. It has, what a beautiful way to help with pain and to help heal without having to resort to things that are unhealthy and potentially even more damaging.
Yeah.
So how does someone know if hypnosis is for them?
Well, oftentimes, hypnosis, it's interesting. People think hypnosis is so often mysterious and things like that. You are hypnotized often. Your parents hypnotize you when you were young. Parents will say, don't be a show-off. Clean your plate. And, oh, honey, you can't sing. Don't sing. And so the rest of your life, you keep telling yourself, oh, I can't sing, or I need to clean my plate. And I just can't throw a crumb away because that would make me a bad girl. I want to be a good girl and clean my plate. Teachers will say, you're just not good at math, or you're the only one that can do this. You're great. And so a lot of those things just stick with us, and then we go over and over and over and reinforce those beliefs in our brain. And so sometimes it's just a matter of a limiting belief that needs to be restructured and written over. You can't eliminate it so much as rewrite over it, just like an old VHS tape where you tape one show and you went, oh, I'm going to tape another show over that one now. And then that's the one that'll be accessed.
So for someone that, on this show, Angels and Healing Light, I'm all about helping people, like I said, have a very happy, healthy life through healing, through help and guidance from the angels and from God. And healing, of course, as you know, is a really big part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to combine those two to help people move forward, let go of things that don't work for them anymore, the baggage, the bad experiences, and heal as you get rid of and as you purge and heal from those experiences, or from carrying around all that baggage, or thinking that you can't do something, or just believing that you're not good enough at something. And I think that's such an important thing, to get to know yourself so that you can find those areas that are holding you back, or that are limiting you, or don't make you feel good, and to pay close attention and work on making those heal, working on dissolving things that are making you feel or literally feeling stuck or being stuck. And it's not easy to do. It's not easy. It's not always easy. Sometimes it is, but it's not always easy to help, especially if it's a lifelong habit or a lifelong belief. And this is wonderful that
you are
one
so
of those
right,
ways.
Laura. Yeah, you are so correct. Oftentimes, it's a lifelong belief. It's kind of like people say, "Oh, well, I've had my mind go crazy my whole life. I'll try hypnosis, or I'll try meditation." We'll say, "I'll try to meditate once. Oh, it didn't work." Well, it may take several times. If you have never controlled your mind and you've let it run amok, it may take more than 20 minutes to get everything into control. Although it doesn't take as long as you may think it would in order to have that healing happen and to have those things occur. And, one of the big things as far as healing is what we say to ourselves, and to be sure that we speak kindly to ourselves. Oftentimes, we say things to ourselves we would never allow anyone else to say. If someone else came up and said things to you from the outside, we'd be like, "How dare you say that to me?" And yet we say less than loving things to ourselves all the time. So the first thing that I would say for stepping into first steps in the journey of healing is to watch your words and watch what you say to yourself. Words create form. And so only speak kind, loving things to yourself, and only speak kind, loving things to others. And it puts you in that higher vibratory state that you mentioned earlier, where it will be easier to communicate with angels. It'll be easier for angels to communicate with you, and for things that you get into the flow and things unfold nicely and easily for you. And that's one of the first steps. Just talk nicely to yourself in loving ways. You're always speaking to your inner child. So only speak to yourself in the way that you would speak to a 3 or 4-year-old, kindly, with love and respect.
Those are very powerful words, Linda, and I can feel, I do feel some emotion when you're talking about that. And the other message that's coming through from that is not only will you be speaking to yourself more kindly, but you'll be speaking to others more kindly. And I'm getting a sensation of losing that rough edge that sometimes, anger, frustration that sometimes we get from being impatient or being tired or frustrated or concerned, and putting ourselves in that higher state of really respecting and honoring ourselves, respecting, which will trickle down to respecting and honoring others, just completely change the energy. It completely changes the atmosphere. And
yes,
it brings people together to accomplish so much more when we work from that energy.
And it makes things so much easier.
It does.
So I can walk from my house to the mailbox in the front of my house, and I could have that be nice and smooth, or I could put a quicksand pit between me and the mailbox. And why would I want to walk through quicksand when I could just as easily get there on a nice, easy, smooth surface? So oftentimes we set up our own quicksand and then complain about it. It's just kind of adorable. And it doesn't need to be that way. So there's things that you can shift very, very easily out of things, and to rewire those synapses in your brain so you think differently. And how you think about life is how you're going to experience it. And, you can I remember one day I was in my living room, and it was November, and here I'm in Chicago, and you remember these, Laura. It was a very blustery November day. It was overcast. The winds were blowing, so it was whipping the leaves like in little, circles as it was going. And I looked outside and went, oh, this is going to be a crappy day. And then I had the thought, wait a minute. If I were, I don't know, let's say a director in a movie, and I wanted to have the perfect blustery November day, this is it. This is a perfect day. And so from that day to this, when I wake up in the morning, I look out the window, I go, what a beautiful day. And some days, and I say this aloud because I'm talking to my dog, but I'm also talking to myself, and some days I go, what a beautiful rainy day. What a beautiful snowy day. So whatever that day is, let's assume that day is perfect just for us.
That's
and
wonderful.
And
even if it's ridiculous, because, I could see myself doing what you're saying and having the most terribly weather, and just kind of laughing or something. What a perfect day. Right. And, because it's so sarcastic, all you can do is laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I was going to make a movie of a hurricane coming my way, this would be perfect. And then get out of the way.
Exactly. Hey, Linda, I have a caller from area code 480, and I think that caller has a question for you. So would you like to say hello?
Hi.
Good morning. How are you?
Okay, and you?
Well, it's a beautiful
Doing
day.
Great.
I do have a question. I do have severe anxiety, and I'm going through treatment, and I was wondering about hypnosis, if that would be helpful to treat anxiety.
Yes. And what type of, what is it that you're, just in general, or is there anything in particular?
Well, I've been diagnosed with PTSD and anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'm an OCD now. So I was wondering, would that, because I've been having treatment for a year, and somebody also said to me, I was treated with hypnosis, and I'm doing fine. And you should find somebody, but I'm always afraid that somebody that's not good can affect you mentally. Can hypnosis change you? Okay, go ahead.
And that's a wonderful question. I'm sorry, what is your name again? Monica. That's a wonderful question, Monica. It's very important. Yes, to answer your question, yes, hypnosis could certainly help you. And the other point that you brought up is very important as well. You're totally aware of everything going on when you're in hypnosis. However, you just don't want to hand your mind over to anyone. So you do want to make sure that you have a qualified hypnotist that you're working with. And hopefully it's someone that just isn't a weekend warrior. By that I mean they took a weekend class or they read, I read a book. It'll be great. No problem. You really want to make sure that someone is trained in this. Some places you can go is NGH, which is National Guild of Hypnotists, to check their website to see if they're, you just want someone qualified through NGH or IHF or the hypnosis guilds and what have you. That way you know that person is coming to you qualified. The best thing also is a recommendation. You said someone you said that they were helped with this. Find out their recommendation. And you want to make sure that you feel comfortable with this person. So, most hypnotists will do a consultation to begin with or something to make sure that there is a connection and that you feel comfortable. If you do not feel comfortable, and this goes for anyone, if you don't feel comfortable, there's a reason for that. And so don't feel bad for getting up going, this isn't working for me and leaving. And and that's for every situation in your life.
Yeah. Okay, well,
so
thank
did
you.
that answer your question? Did that help?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Very helpful. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Have a good day.
So with somebody that has issues like Monica's talking about, how often or how many times, I know it's pretty hard to say without having a real consultation, but how long do you think before it would start being helpful?
Depending about the severity, 4 sessions should about do it. Okay, you may have to go a little bit further than that, but it can be done very, very quickly. And I have permission from one of my clients to share this story. She had a severe, and this is an interesting anxiety, but she had severe fear of wind.
Wind?
Wind that blows. Wind, yes. And
oh my gosh,
that's interesting. And you would think the way that you could resolve that would be when it's windy, stay indoors, right? Except she and her husband own a charter sailboat company.
Oh my.
Which involves wind.
Oh my.
And so, yeah. And so it was horrid because once the wind started really whipping up and things, she would start having severe panic attacks. And, of course, this did not reflect well on the business and affected her marriage, as you can imagine. So she came to me, and I believe it was 4 sessions. And then I got a video of her just, in this crazy wind. And she's hanging out over the side of the boat, just hanging on the sail going, woohoo, I love it. So she's actually one of my she's just a very wonderful advocate of mine. She goes, wherever I go, I tell everyone about you. I go, okay, great, thanks. So there's
perfect example of how something is getting in your way, and then you're able to help them fix that through 4 sessions of hypnosis.
Linda, how can people
and that's not guaranteed for, but that gives you an idea. I'm sorry, what, dear?
Right. How can people get in touch with you?
Well, there's a couple ways. My website is pretty easy. It's lindaherrick.com. They can also, I'll give you my cell number too, and that is 815-546-9391. Or they could reach me at email, and that's linda@lindaherrick.com.
And that's Herrick.
Thank you. That's right.
I have another caller, area code 470. Sure. Hello there.
Hello, my name is Casey, and I'm calling from Georgia.
Hey, Casey, how are you?
Hi, Casey.
Hi, I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Good.
Beautiful. What's your question?
I was just calling to see if there will be a change in my finances, or do you see any money coming soon?
Well, let's take a look, Casey. And right now, what I would like you to do is ask your angels to step in and be part of this from this moment forward to help you in every step of your life. And I am going to work on asking them that question. And then I think Linda had something to say too. Yes, I have a beautiful message from Archangel Raziel, who is telling you that you have and you will have the resources, but you also have the ability to manifest them. And what's really important, I'm getting so goosebumpy, what's really important about that is that it's telling you to, Archangel Jophiel is also telling us right now that making sure that you're not blinded by fear, that you're not blocked by fear and fear of the unknown. It's almost like you have a veil and you can't see so well the things that are right in front of you. Archangel Raziel is saying, you're ready, life's about to change, you are getting you're going to get the resources, but you have the ability to manifest them. How? By asking for what you want, by knowing that you have so much and you have so much power to get what you want in life. And you have to be the co-creator of this. You have to be very firm and very strong about asking for what you want. Getting that is a very big message. Is that very, yes, the thing that you need to ask for the things that you want, but have it done in such a way that you know exactly what you want and why, and make your game plan, make a plan for the future. So where you are now and where you want to go. As they're saying, it's very important that you map out your goals and where you want to step to, and then asking for help, knowing that it's going to take steps, one step at a time. You know, unfortunately, that magic wand, I don't know where it is, to get us from point A to point B by wiggling our nose. So it's steps. Accept help from people. They're there to help you if you kindly ask for their assistance. But, people love to help other people move forward. So please engage others in helping you get there. And asking Archangel Jophiel and Archangel Raziel to help you. They're already helping you, but they're saying, you've got this, make a plan, ask for help getting to those points, because the change is coming. But be sure that you know what it is that you want. Know the end goal. So start working on that. And I hope that helps. Linda, did you have something to say?
Well, I can't top that with Casey. I think that's a beautiful thing. The only other thing that I would say, and this is for you, Casey, and also for General, is to really take some time and write down and review your thoughts about money. Because oftentimes, even as children, we were told things, and our beliefs can go very deep, that they may not even be your beliefs, it may be someone else's. Money doesn't grow on trees, and you have to work hard for your money, and there's never enough money. There's more months than I have money, and all of that stuff that we're told as children, that scarcity and that poverty, if that's what's really programmed into your subconscious, sometimes people have the experience where, oh, I got my tax refund back, yay, oh, my transmission went out. So whenever they get ahead a little bit, all of a sudden there's some way that money goes again. Or rich people are greedy and mean, and you don't want to be greedy and mean, so your mind will, your subconscious will make sure you're never rich. So just review what things you were told in your beliefs, and make sure that you just take a really good look at those as well.
Okay.
Beautifully said.
Okay.
Thank you, Casey. Thank you. Good luck. Let us know how it goes. Stay in touch.
Yes, ma'am, I will. Thank you all.
Okay.
You're welcome.
What you said is so true. Sometimes we have that mindset that was not even our mindset, that it was passed by generations through their own experiences. And this is how life is, and this is how it's going to be. It was like this for me, and now it's going to be like this for you. So, maybe from the very, very, beginning of our ancestors going through this, and we've got it in our head. And I love what you said about rich people being mean and greedy, and, that's just not true. Most rich people work very, very, very hard to get where they're at, so they weren't limited.
And they tend to be generous because they know what it was like, especially the ones coming up. So, And the thing where, even the phrase, you have to work hard for your money, if we do a lot of our work now, we're not sweating. So, a lot of, there could be an aspect of you that feels guilty. Well, I didn't actually work hard for this. I probably don't deserve this, or I'm not worthy of this. And we'll find a way to make it go, we'll find a way to make the money go away. And that's why it's real important to work with subconscious mind as well, because I'm sure everyone has had the experience where, that's it, I'm going to go on a diet. And the next thing you know, you're eating cookies. going, I didn't even want a cookie, you know, because there was some aspect of you says, no, I think you'll be eating some cookies. And that's what's going to happen.
So true. And, you know, you made a really good point. And, like, so you get your tax return back and your transmission goes out. And this is, so here's one way of looking at it. Oh, I got my tax return back and now my transmission went out. Or, oh, I got my tax return back, thank God, because my transmission just went out. So you can look at it as perhaps you got the tax return in the nick of time because your transmission went out. So it's a way of looking at things. And that would be awesome.
Yeah, and if that happens at one time, but if every time you get money, it goes, there's someone else, there's you're not operating that system. Your subconscious mind is. And so if that's an ongoing issue, then that needs to be looked at. Yeah. So all right. One of the things go ahead.
No, please continue. One of the things you it's hard when you're on the radio and you don't have visual cues when the person's going to just speak. It's hard. You know, we should have little lights that we press. I'm done speaking.
That would be awesome. One of the questions I also get is, can hypnosis be done virtually? And the answer is yes. I do most hypnosis sessions. I can do almost all hypnosis sessions virtually. The ones that I don't is in person. I need to be in person for quit smoking and past life regression because it's just a little bit more intense. I prefer it that way. Everything else can be done virtually as well through Skype or as long as I can see the face. It's amazing. So, and wonderful. So there was another train of thought there, but I believe my thought train just derailed. It'll probably get back on tracks in a moment.
Well, it's good to know because we have listeners all over the world. So looking for some help, resolving a problem, managing your pain, trying to figure out a certain pattern in life. So Linda will be able to help you with that virtually. So Linda, your reach goes universal, as it always has, beyond universal. Beyond universal. It's good to know. You know,
you always
Linda's
touch
fault.
my heart, Laura.
This is Linda's fault that, you know, Linda introduced me to Archangel Michael, by the way. So those of my longtime listeners know that I had a personal experience with Archangel Michael, and it's Linda. Linda's actually the one that introduced me to him, which absolutely blew my mind. I keep telling you, I just didn't know it was possible. Wow. You know, little old me and an angel? No way. And gosh, I grew up Catholic. You know, you learn about angels there. But I did not have any idea that they were able to come here right next to us and help us. So I can tell you firsthand experience that it happens. It's possible. And it's Linda's fault. But she started me. She was the messenger. Somebody and she were the messengers that helped propel me onto this path of communicating with angels and helping other people communicate and get messages and heal with them. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful experience. And it never fails to touch my heart. The miracles that I hear about and that I experience and that I see, they never stop. And they don't cease to amaze me. But it's always just a wow moment. But it's, you know, that's my normal now. Whereas before I didn't even know you could, and now this is my norm.
Isn't it?
And wonderful? Everybody can have that. It is wonderful.
Exactly.
So
it's the ripples. Yes, it's the ripples we create. And so thank you for your kind words. That was wonderful. But it's the ripples we create. It's not so much what occurs to us. It's as it goes out and out and out into the water. And all the people that you touch, and then all the people that they touch, and then all the people they touch. And shifts can happen. You know, if you decide today, you and your listeners decide today, your listeners, to be kind to themselves and say loving things to themselves and make an effort to go out and say something loving and kind to every person they meet, even the ones that might irritate you. Say something kind and loving to them. And it's amazing how the ripples can go out from there, and you can help shift your home, you can help shift your neighborhood, you can help shift your community. And as those ripples go out, that higher vibration will help shift all kinds of issues that people have and that they're dealing with in their lives. And it's very simple. It just isn't always easy to reach for the love. But just reach for the love.
So you hear that, everyone? You've got the power to change your world. You have the power to change your world by your thoughts.
Yeah.
Just that simple. Just by thinking beautiful things, kind things, loving things. You have the power to change your world, your neighbor's world, the lady behind the deli who's cranky, deli counter who's cranky. You've got that power. You've got the power to bring light and love and healing to people just through your thoughts and intentions. So if that doesn't,
yeah.
If that doesn't light up your moment.
Yes, there we go. And I always make it a habit to over-tip breakfast waitresses because they work just as hard as dinner waitresses, but on a smaller tab, right? So if you can over-tip a breakfast waitress, and it doesn't cost a lot of money to do that, you can make their day. And the next person sitting down at that table is going to get even better service because they're going to be in such a great mood. I mean, you don't know where all those ripples go, so just go out and be a ripple maker kind of thing. I don't know if that's even a phrase.
Well, it is now. So I have time for one more caller. I'm going to take Julia. Miss Julia from area code 863.
Hi, ladies. Thank you for taking my call. Good morning.
Pleasure. How are you?
It's been a little crazy. It's like all my electronics are dying, and then I got a tire went flat, or it didn't go flat. I picked up a screw in the road, so I'm like, okay, what's going on? This isn't good. So,
can I just address the electronics, Julia? Julia, oftentimes I have this issue as well that I can blow out. I've blown out my home phone lines, electronics, all kinds of things, and it's always when my energy is not grounded. So I would suggest that you be grounded and centered and in present moment, and it's just too much energy going everywhere. Bring it all in and ground yourself. Become centered, become present moment, and the way to do that is through breath. And as you breathe and focus on your breath, it'll help calm you. Also, as you breathe, realize that you've actually been given the gift of life, which is the most precious gift there is. And when you realize you've been given that gift of life in that moment, you can't help but be incredibly grateful. And when you're grateful, you're in present moment, which is the eternal moment where everything is whole, perfect, and complete. Spend more time there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Actually, excuse me. The reason I called was I need to start looking for employment, and I haven't worked, outside the home in a very long time. So I've got a big gap in employment, and like my skill sets are rusty. So just the idea of getting out there becomes a little overwhelming. Thinking about age and experience and all that good stuff, and it's like, oh, wow, okay. So are there any insights around, potential employment opportunities or where I should kind of focus? Or
Julia, I have good news. Number one, yes, there's something coming to you that is going to just make you laugh a lot. So you're going to be laughing a lot. where you can be yourself. I don't have a very clear picture of what it is, but something is coming your way. And remember, number one, ask Archangel Michael to help you, because not only am I just madly in love with him, he is a wonderful career guide. So getting Archangel Michael to help you with that. And he's reminding you, have faith, give your trust and your concerns over to God and the divine wisdom, and let that light guide you. But also I'm being asked to remind you, your skill sets are not rusty. You have a lifetime of experience and knowledge, and that is what your focus, those are the things that you have to give to the world. Skill sets, things can be learned very quickly on a job, but you have a lifetime of experience behind you. So this is your gift. This is what you have to offer, is somebody that's knowledgeable and smart and experienced and wise, and I'm feeling very dependable. You're also a leader, teacher, so not only, and you like to help people. So those are your skill sets amongst many others that I don't know you, but you have a lot more. So dig deep and look, who am I? What have I accomplished? I've come all this way. I've done all these things. That's who you are. So you're not rusty. You've just been on a little break. You're going to do well, and you're going to have fun, and you're going to be get that confidence to keep going and making sure that you're surrounded by things that bring you joy and happiness. So if you find that something is stagnant and not working for you, then make an adjustment so that you're in an environment that makes you feel good.
That sounds wonderful.
Any thoughts to that, Miss Linda? And we have about 4 minutes left, so we'll have to make that brief.
No, I think you got it. So good luck, Julia. I know you'll do well. Bring your confidence, and others will see it too. Yeah.
Yeah. Confidence. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Go get them, girl. Let us know.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Hey, Linda, you have a cruise coming up. I would love for you to tell people about your cruise.
I think
it's pretty fascinating.
It's Spirit Heart Cruise. It is 7 days, 6 nights. If you go to my website, lindaherrick.com, you'll see Spirit Cruise there. There's a metaphysical cruise inside of a cruise ship, and I just have to tell you very quickly why I decided to do this. They had contacted me and said, could you come, would you like to do this cruise? It's a Royal Caribbean ship, Harmony of the Sea, and I was like, I don't know, I have to think about it. Let me think about it, I'll let you know. So later that day, I sat down, turned on Netflix. Whatever was on, it happened to be Kelsey Grammer and Like Father, something he was on. And here's Kelsey Grammer's close-up of his face, and behind him, in neon lights, Harmony of the Seas. He's on the ship that they had just asked me about. And I'm sitting on my couch. I look up to the ceiling. I go, fine, I'll go, because I'm a big believer in 3 hints, but how ridiculous is that? And as I said, oftentimes God's in ridiculous. So I called him up and said, yes, I'm going. So there'll be 30 speakers. You get to choose between 30 speakers, 7 days, 6 nights. Some of the ports are Coco Cay Key Island, which is Royal Caribbean, St. Thomas, and St. Martin's. And that entire cruise you can get for just about $1,000, all inclusive, including the expo, the whole fair of all the speakers as well. And
what will you be doing?
I will be doing a 2-hour presentation, past life regression, and actually taking you through a past life regression. So
all right. So all my people that are not local that want a past life regression, get on that ship, the Spirit Cruise, and get your past life regression. They're fascinating. Linda Herrick is an amazing and incredible healer. I know she's an incredible, amazing hypnotist, and she's so knowledgeable, and she does everything from the heart. She does it with passion. She does it with joy. Not only will you have so much healing and insight done, you'll have a good time doing it, She makes no bones about that. She loves what she does, and it shows. And so you can reach her at lindaherrick.com. And I think my time is about up. So thank you, everyone, for being there, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Many blessings to one and all. Until then, thank you, Linda, very, very much, and thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Tiffany. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.